Hi, my name is Peter Blattner, and this is my presentation for Management 660, our extended executive summary for Coca-Cola. Um, Very fun project that we did to um, analyze the strategic standing of where they're at and what they can do for the future. And so, what we kind of looked at is for their business model is that they're very successful with their history in consumer goods. We do want to focus on a more sustainable company, being a little bit more green, consumer friendly. Um, the other thing that they do very well too is they have an expansive bottling and distribution network. So there's a huge opportunity there to help with sustainability as well. And then they have great global partnerships as they are a very large company worldwide. Um, Current vision and mission, the one thing that they do very well is that they have a great loyal customer base, great brand identity, global reach, very memorable marketing. I remember as a kid the Michael Jackson commercials seems to always kind of stick in my head when I think about Coca-Cola. What we do want to do though is we want to kind of modify the vision and the mission and really incorporate future generations as well as sustainability and kind of a more green product. So again, care for our future generations, through that sustainability and green daily decisions, while at the same time we really want to create a brand that can bring and foster unity within communities. Mission, kind of the same thing. Again, continue to be a global leader, focusing on that green and sustainable business practices through products and efficiencies as well, and being and taking responsibility for being that leader in unifying communities, and bringing future leaders from within the company as well. One of the areas that we really started with was the EFE, or the external factor matrix, and the strengths and the weaknesses. The strengths of Coca-Cola is they have a very diverse portfolio, great technology, promotion of brands is very strong. Some of the weaknesses is that, well, it's soda and it's not as healthy for people to consume in large quantities or frequently. There has been litigation in the past over some racism threats. That was in the early 2000s. And the economic changes, the economies are always changing throughout the world, and then expanding competition. People are always trying to get into the market as well. The competitive profile matrix, we looked at some of the key competitors. PepsiCo is the largest direct competitor, as well as Keurig Dr. Pepper. And so when we put this matrix together, we're able to kind of see them side by side in different critical success factors, so kind of pulling some out. Customer service was a big weight, a 10% weight, and Coke does very well compared to both PepsiCo and Keurig. Another big one is the financial profit. Coke again does a really nice job compared to the other two, and overall they do 3.25, a little bit higher than Pepsi and well above Dr. Pepper. So they're continuing to remain really strong in the industry. Some of the historical financial ratios from 2021 and 2022. This definitely helps make decisions moving forward. They're in a very strong financial spot, 60 to 58% gross profit over those 2 years, an ROE of 16 and 20% respectively. Another matrix that we looked to kind of analyze was the IFE, or the internal factor evaluation, which was the strengths and weaknesses internally. And again, they're very strong in their marketing. That got a very strong weighted score of a point 0.4. Another one is they're very available globally. Coca-Cola is a global company, and to have a weighted score of 0.24, and the brand equity 0.28. Again, very, very strong worldwide. Some of the weaknesses that we did identify, again, with the biggest negative or weakness was the environmentally destructive packaging with the plastic, and plastic being put back into the environment. And so that's going to be a big opportunity for Coke as they move forward. Another one that had some weaknesses was some products do have low sales. So those would be things to look at too as they move forward. And the overall SWOT analysis was another thing that we looked at. Trying to get into some, maybe possibly looking into the alcohol market. Seltzers are getting very popular, so that could be a possibility. looking into drinking water and some more healthier products are again some things that might be able to look at. Another matrix that's very helpful is the BCG, or the Boston Consulting Group matrix, and this kind of lets us know what markets we're in and how they're performing. And overall, Coke does a really great job in all the markets. Very strong in Europe, Middle East, and Africa, the largest market. That puts them in a star with a very high rating, both in the share position, and they're just in a star quadrant. Latin America is another strong market. A little bit in the question mark, but not big. North America, again, very, very strong. A little bit in the cash cow. Pepsi does a great job competing with Coke in North America. And then Asia, again, very, very strong as well. Another matrix we looked at was the external to IE matrix. Again, they do a really great job. It's being strong in both areas just overall. So we were very happy with where they stand. The strategic position and action evaluation matrix, or the SPACE matrix, allows us to put our competitors as well as Coke on the map of kind of where they fall. Are they a conservative? Are they being defensive? Are they being aggressive, competitive? And both Pepsi and Coke are in that aggressive, competitive market, whereas Dr. Pepper is in, kind of right in the middle, being a little bit neutral, and quite frankly, probably is not a huge competitor to Coca-Cola at this time. The grand strategy, this allows us to see in those markets kind of what quadrant they're in. Is there some market growth? Is it a slow market? How strong is the competition? We can see that Latin America and North America are both in a rapid market growth, as well as there's some strong competition. So it kind of allows us to see where we can put some of our attention and resources. But again, we just kind of break it down too with expanding into different markets, as well as the sustainability piece, and adding some weights to that as well. Again, you kind of look through this in the strengths, and we see a strong marketing and advertising of those products around the globe that got a 0.10 weight. Some of the weaknesses that we saw in here, environmentally destructive packaging. Again, that's going to hit us in a very strong negative, and weakness of 0.4, which was really high. So those are things that we got to factor into moving forward with some recommendations. The QSPM matrix, again, some opportunities and threats, kind of the same thing. Again, we're going to see they're very strong. We can go after some technology, Coke being very strong with that. That got us a 0.56. Again, in the weaknesses, we're seeing, that changing economic environment. Again, green sustainability is becoming a really popular um, business practice moving forward, and we definitely recommend Coke get on that same bandwagon. The perceptual map just kind of throws our competitors and where they fall, kind of market segment. We have in the soft drink realm, we have no sugar, or the diet colas, low caffeine, the Sprite, the 7 Up. High caffeine, the colas, Mountain Dews, high sugar. So we kind of see where our products kind of fall in this, and then we can adjust or attack as we move forward with a new vision and mission. When we look at the current organizational chart, we see that, the structure is very divisional based, but it runs through the CEO, and there's a lot of responsibility on that CEO. And so what we actually recommend is to kind of break it up a little bit and put it more in, spread it out, add some new director positions, add a COO, a chief operating officer, add a chief innovations and sustainability officer, as we're looking to get into more green and sustainable business practices. And then the president of global health, as that is a big deal with the soft drink industry, is one of the weaknesses or threats is that it's an unhealthy product. So we would definitely recommend that. Then we kind of go through some of the numbers, the corporate valuation, compare it with Pepsi. And again, very similar companies. Numbers are running very similar. Coke being just a little bit stronger. The EPS and the EBIT analysis, again, Coke is doing a really nice job. Earnings per shares are staying positive. Again, the EBIT, is looking overall pretty solid. So we're pretty happy with financial standing. Projected again, we are looking to be a little bit more conservative. However, we are going to be investing some money into becoming more green and sustainable. So that's where some of the cash will go down a little bit. However, we do feel that we can still pay out our shareholders, keep them happy. Again, the ROE is going to go down a little bit over the next couple of years, but we do feel that it's going to put us in a position to strengthen us long term because we are going to be ahead of being sustainable and green and expanding into some other markets. And so, again, we feel that really minimal change is needed overall. Again, that focus on sustainability, bringing people together. We do really want to involve the shareholders because we really feel it's going to be a team effort. And then that restructure of leadership to help delegate the responsibility is really what we're going to focus on. So, those are the recommendations that we have to the Coca-Cola board. And again, really fun exercise and class to go through. And look forward to the board's final decision. Thank you.